1,
Over here.
2, 3. Done.
Very good. Ask him, please. Ask him, Jason.
Me, Jackson.
Justin.
23.
Caitlin.
No, Jackson. 21.
Dragon.
40.
Book.
Okay. Oliva, can you summarize the story for me, okay?
What about me, Ty?
What's how many for you?
I'm 5.
Only 5?
0.
Okay.
My name Bree.
So Oliva, so please summarize the story for them, okay?
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
There's another. We're going to Walmart today, right?
Okay.
Last time we play, okay?
Listen, please. Everyone listen. Alan, can you remind them what we learned last week? Last Thursday, the story where we are in. Remember, Alan?
So the prince was still swimming, and then the seal Buddha thingy, she came down and asked him some questions, and he said he said that he will continue swimming even if he dies, because if he doesn't continue, then he will die with no meaning. And then after that, the thing, the Buddha, she carried him across the sea, and then they got to land, and then she let him rest and sleep, and then back in the town, the other, like the brother, he was gonna die, and the princess or queen, the person told the queen to find someone that can impress or please the princess, and can find the head of each bed, but none of the men could do it. So the people let the horse choose, and they choose the prince. And then the prince, he was the king, and then he when he was walking to the princess, then the princess liked him, and then she liked him, and that's what I remember.
Wow, you have good memory. Wow, that's good then. All right, thank you, Alan. All right, so Oliva, are you ready, Oliva?
Yeah.
Good, thank you.
Advisors, if the previous king had left any instructions. They told him. The king said that we should give the kingdom to whoever can win the heart of the princess. King Mahachanaka answered, "That has been done. What else?" They then said, "The king said we should give the kingdom to whoever could identify the head of a square bed." King Mahachanaka then said, "Ah, this cannot be known directly, yet it can be known by contrivance." The king then took out a golden needle from his hair and asked the princess, "Please put this at the head of the square bed." The princess took the golden needle and placed it at the head of the bed. Then he asked the advisors, "This is done. What else?" The king said that we should give the kingdom to whoever can string the bow that requires the strength of 1,000 men. And with that, King Mahachanaka took the heavy bow, and using his strength of mind and body that he had honed over countless lifetimes, the prince drew the bow as if it were simply a child's toy. After which he asked, "What else?" The king said that we should give the kingdom to whoever can figure out the hiding place of the 16 treasures from a poem. After hearing the poem, King Mahachanaka was able to correctly identify where all 16 treasures were buried. He had them dug up and added to the royal treasury. After that, he asked the advisors, "What else?" They answered, "You've done all that the previous king required." Having earned his position and wealth, King Mahachanaka thought, "What good is all this gold and wealth if I do not use it to help the people?" He gave the wealth from the 16 treasures to the people at 5 distribution centers throughout the city. This caused so much happiness in the hearts of all. Next, King Mahachanaka had a royal carriage sent to bring his mother and the Brahmin from Kalachampa, and showered them with great honor. King Mahachanaka made sure to bestow riches on the Brahmin and his wife, in gratitude for their charity and love. They sacrificed so much to protect and look after King Mahachanaka and his mother for many years. King Mahachanaka never forgot a favor given and never failed to repay it. King Mahachanaka was well loved by the people. In order to allow all his subjects to see him, he prepared a great festival and led a parade through the city. People came from far and wide and showered him with praises and gifts. King Mahachanaka reflected upon the actions that led him to this point. He reflected upon the strife between his father and his uncle. He reflected upon the war and death of many men. He reflected upon his mother's fear and her sacrifice to keep him alive. He reflected upon the Brahmin's kindness in taking in his pregnant mother. He reflected upon the lessons he learned during his childhood. He reflected upon the hard work he put into training his mind and body. He reflected upon the great effort he put forth in swimming in the great ocean for 7 days and 7 nights. Without that great exertion, he would not have been able to achieve his goal. He thought, "Courage to move forward is the right thing to do. Had I not shown courage in the great ocean, would I have been able to attain this glory?" He felt great joy in his heart and knew that one of his karmic goals was complete. After some time, the king and queen had a healthy young boy they named Digawu Kumara. When he grew up, his father made him viceroy. One day, King Maha Chanaka decided to visit the garden. There, he saw 2 great mango trees, one with ripe fruit, and one completely devoid of any fruit. Since the king had not eaten from the tree, no one had dared to harvest the ripe fruit. The king tasted the mango and was surprised at the divine flavor. He thought to himself, "I will definitely return and eat several more." Once it was known that the king had eaten from the mango tree, everyone, from the viceroy to the elephant keepers, gathered and ate some. People climbed the tree, broke branches, and stripped the leaves. In the end, all that was left of the tree was broken and battered branches, never to give fruit again. On the other side, the mango tree without fruit stood as beautifully as ever. When the king came back and saw the trees, he asked his advisors what had happened. They told him, "The crowd saw that your majesty had eaten the fruit and then plundered it." "But tell me then, advisors, why has this tree not lost any leaves or color?" "My lord, this tree is bright green because it has no fruit." The king reflected. This tree is whole because it has no fruit, while this tree is broken and battered because of its fruit. He used this real-life moment as a parallel to develop wisdom. He saw that the kingdom was like the tree with abundant fruit. Owing to the prosperity of the kingdom, people will harbor greed, fight, kill, steal, harm, and commit evil, thus leaving the kingdom and its people in ruins, both physically and spiritually. He who possesses abundant property will also possess abundant fear and suffering due to his property. I will not be like the fruitful tree. I will be like the barren one. I will live the life of an ascetic, having little and wanting little. I will leave all my glory behind. I will give up my worldly possessions and search for true freedom. He decided to live like an ascetic. However, he found that being king and practicing was very difficult. He decided to fully ordain himself as an ascetic and live in the mountains. He cut off his hair and beard and put on a yellow robe. He took one bull and headed for the mountains. Queen Siwali Dewi found out and led a group of attendants to beg the king to return. They followed him for many days. One day, the Bodhisattva went for alms at the home of an arrow maker. While waiting for food, the Bodhisattva observed the arrow maker looking with one eye to check if the arrow was straight. When the Bodhisattva asked him why he looked with only one eye instead of two, the arrow maker said, "Using both eyes distracts my view. If I use only one eye, I can focus and my vision is true." The Bodhisattva recognized this as a parallel to his current situation. He internalized and thought, "With others around me, I'm distracted by my thoughts and their actions. But if I were truly alone, I could focus my mind and see reality in its truest form." The Bodhisattva told Queen Siwali Dewi of his intention to live alone as an ascetic. She begged and pleaded with all she had for him to return with her. However, the Bodhisattva's mind was set. He had already seen the future awaiting him as king. His only chance for attaining spiritual advancement was as an ascetic. Only then could he free his mind from the rounds of rebirth. Queen Siwali Dewi's heart could not handle the Bodhisattva's resolve. She fainted. The Bodhisattva left on his journey, and when Queen Siwali Dewi woke up, she could not find the Bodhisattva's tracks. She knew he was gone forever. Gathering herself, Queen Siwali Dewi returned home. Her son was appointed as the new king. As for herself, Queen Siwali Dewi decided to follow her husband's example and lived a life of simplicity and renunciation. She renounced fancy clothes, comforts, and pleasures. She only ate to sustain her life. She reflected on the truths of reality and gained so much insight. As for the Bodhisattva, he strove to attain spiritual awakening until the end of his days. What do you think the moral of this story is?
Okay. Oliva, please.
So there's this king, and like there were the advisors, and then they told him to do like all these things that the old king wanted him to do, and then he did all of them, and then he became the king. With his and then he reflected on like all his and then when he with his money and stuff, he gave it all to people, and he used it to repay everybody who had done a favor for him. And then he reflected on how he was able to become king with his courage and stuff, like when he swam in the lake with courage. And then one day he went to the forest, and there was a mango tree that had a lot of good mangoes, and then nobody ate it yet because he didn't eat it, and he had to eat it first. So he ate one of the mangoes, and then he left, and then all the people came and ate the mangoes on the tree and like made the tree. They like broke the tree and stuff and damaged the tree, and then the other tree, which had no mangoes on it, was really pretty, and it didn't have any damage. And then the king noticed that it was like the kingdom, where if he had all this kingdom, people would be greedy and there would be fights, and then the kingdom would be destroyed. So he left the kingdom to practice Buddhism, and then the queen begged him to stay, but he didn't. And then eventually the queen did exactly what the king did, and left all her stuff behind, and then their son became the new king.
Mm-hmm. So, Michelle, you watched everything, Michelle?
I only watched half of it.
Oh, so next time, log in early, okay? So, Caitlin Young, what you learn from this story?
That you don't have to be wealthy to be happy.
Wow, so smart. Why is that? Why is that?
Because
Why? Anyone can help her? Yeah, she made a good statement. Beautiful statement. you don't need much wealth to be happy, right? Why is that? Hồng, why? Why Hồng?
I don't know.
Okay, why Michelle? Turn on the cam, Michelle. Why?
Because if you can only you can't buy happiness because it's just a mental thing and it's not an object.
Okay, Jason, do you understand why? If you are billionaires, would you be happy? Jason,
What?
if you were billionaires, would you be happy?
No.
You sure? You're rich. How could you not be happy? Why? Why is that?
You don't need to be rich or poor, just need to see what you do in your life.
Wow, so smart. Alan, you understand that? Alan?
Yes.
Guess what? What you understand about?
You don't have to be like rich or like have a lot of money to be happy.
So how could you be happy without money? If you don't have money, if you don't have food, how could you be happy then?
I don't know.
Wow, you get stuck, right? Who else? Who can respond for me?
Me.
Oliva.
Me.
What do you think, Oliva?
Like if you're rich, that doesn't mean that you're automatically happy. Because like you could see how the king, he had all this wealthy stuff and then he ruled the kingdom, but like since everyone wanted the kingdom and everyone would be greedy, that's why he left the kingdom, because then it would get destroyed.
But what happens if you're so poor that you don't have money to buy food? Then would you be happy?
Probably not.
Huh? If you're so poor, let's say if you're so poor that you could not have the house or the place to stay, you stay outdoor, you stay on the streets like homeless, would you be happy?
Probably not. I don't think so.
So how could you balance then? You understand that?
Yeah.
So you need to recognize what? You have to have some kind of survival first, right? You understand that, right? So that you can control your mind, you can do meditation, and at that time you can be happy. So not too extreme. Understand, Michelle?
Yeah.
Why is that? Can you explain to them why?
Because if you are too poor, then you would be hungry, or you wouldn't have good conditions. So you would get like sad, because if you're painful, then you wouldn't be happy. But if you were too rich, it wouldn't be really you wouldn't be really happy either, because you would have to worry about a lot of things, like about your belongings and money. But it's good to have enough.
So yeah, so you understand that. And remember about the Jason, what's the difference between the tree has full of mango and the other tree doesn't have any mango? What happened then?
If it had something good or useful, it can be destroyed by other people that needs it. And if it doesn't has nothing, people will just do nothing with it. It will just grow out more beautiful. But while it has the other tree that has fruit, will get torn by other people's.
So Anthony, let's say if you have $1 million, you put in front of your house, what happened then, Anthony?
Oh, silly.
Yeah.
Only they're nice. They wanna steal it, or a very nice person. So when mostly people will steal it because they want money, mostly. So yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. So thầy Pháp, you have 5 minutes. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, thầy Pháp.
Hello, everyone. I will let you see the movie. Because the time is too short, I will not let you see the big one, so I will show you the small one. All right. That. Olivia, can you? I think it's follow the movie and summarize at the end.
Yeah.
Olivia, what do you think?
So there is this dog, and then like when the fish gets out of the water, it saves the fish and puts it back in the water, and then yeah.
And did you think the woman give some fish to him for him to eat? But
Yeah. But he didn't eat the fish.
But when they give some other food like vegetarian,
he ate the food.
Oh wow, Alan, what did we learn from this story? Unmute.
The dog, he protect and help the animals. So and he doesn't want to eat meat.
So can we be able to do that?
Wow.
Yes.
Maybe.
But don't grab animals with your mouth.
Stop.
You see that? The animal know how to protect the fish. Oh, wow, that's wonderful.
They say people.
Huh?
They say people.
People. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
say people because no one.
They say people when you drown. The dog saved them.
Oh yeah. The dog saved the people too. That's right. You see that? The dog can do very good, right? So we can also learn from them, right? Chúc, what do you think? What did you learn from this story? Let's see. Jonathan.
Huh?
What did you learn from this story, con?
What?
Okay, all right, time is up. Who is so make sure we respect animal. See the dog do, we do the same. All right, who is the speaker of the house? Jason, right?
Me.
Jason. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead, tell them what they do, what they should do.
Treat your tutor. Don't disrupt the teacher while they're teaching us. Don't do something else or do something bad while the teacher is learning. Turn on your camera.
Always respect your tutor. Right, thank you, Polan.